little bit of you, because you get to do things that are about you, which is good.
It's weird to have so many things focused just on me. It's
probably
hard
awkward.
It's hard to comprehend.
Do you feel vulnerable?
It's hard to comprehend.
Well, you probably feel very vulnerable. Everything's about you. And I think by you allowing everything to be about everybody else, that took away your vulnerability. I'll just take care of them. Doesn't matter about me. But in the long run, at 35, you're not feeling happy.
No, not really.
So we got to work on how to get you to start doing things for you, and that it's okay to say no. It actually is. And I know it's hard for you to say no. You have a problem saying no to people because you don't want to hurt them. But you're going to just repeat the cycle of hurting yourself.
Well, isn't also saying no to, isn't that kind of like, is that being selfish? Isn't that like copping out? I mean, if someone expects something of you and you say no, isn't it sort of letting them down?
Well, you have to think about it in a few ways. I understand that point of view, and no, it's not. It's okay. There's going to be situations in a lifetime that maybe you don't have kids, but let's say you did. Just for example, you have to take your son to baseball games after school, and a friend calls you, any friend, and says, I need you to drive me here. Now, you physically can't be in two places at the same time, right? You can't be at a baseball game and driving your son and taking Carrie, I'm just using as an example, to the store. So you're going to have to say no to somebody. Does that make you selfish? Because you had to say no?
Yeah, I guess not.
But do you really believe that it is selfish still? Are you thinking in your head, well, let me see how I can maneuver two things even?
Well, that's what I've always done. I mean, like, I can remember like not getting to bed till 4 a.m. because like someone will say, I want you to come out and meet me somewhere. I'm shot. I just don't have it in me tonight. And they're like, well, so what you're saying is I'm not worth you coming out here to see me. I was like, no, I'm tired. So what you're saying is that it's more important for you to sleep than it is for you to see me. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's blah blah. And eventually I go out and see him, and then like 3 o'clock in the morning, someone will call and they need a favor. Like, what I mean? But
then what you're saying basically to yourself is, I'm not worthy. It's okay. Let everybody else get what they need, but I'm not getting what I need. You have not. That's pretty much my philosophy usually. Right. I can't deny it. No, if I denied it, it would be dishonest. No, and that's what this is about: seeing what the patterns are by going back in your past, seeing what's happened, and seeing how you're still doing it in the present, the here and now, and trying to change that so you don't have that in the future. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to upset you, but if you could stop those patterns, you could start doing things for you. And it doesn't have to be all about you. You can start half-half and do things for others and set some time for you and do things that you love.
I don't know how to do that.
We're going to work on that. But you know what? You are here. You're doing things, which is good. And you were having such a confidence boost for a while, and I see it like a little down, so we're going to have to get you back up a little. But...
Sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I don't know, because I messed up.
Who do you think you're letting down? Honestly, who do you think you're letting down by just being you?
I don't know.
But you're not. Why would...
I don't know, I don't know. That thing was it was a weird experience.
That's okay. And you know what? We all learn from how we feel or mistakes, and it might have been a mistake, it might have not been. That all depends on how you feel about it. Because every situation you put yourself in is your own reaction, how you feel. Somebody would feel different. Somebody might go in there and just take it for what it is. This is fun, who cares? Somebody else would go in there and feel horrible about it. Some people would actually get angry. I mean, it depends on the person.
This is going to make you nutty, but I'm still confused about everything now.
Well, I
would imagine that at this point in the conversation, you would think you've cleared some things up for me, but I'm still confused.
No, actually, I think you should be more confused.
No.
Well, why? Because...
So thank you for confusing me.
No. Well, because what's happening is you're just starting to see your patterns, which is going to confuse you because you're going to go, I see them, but why am I still doing them? Mm-hmm. And it's going to upset you more. But we have to get through the patterns and figure out what the patterns are to change them. And we're starting to get there.
What if I don't change them? What if I'm unchangeable?
Well, it depends what you believe.
Like, how long does it usually take for something like this to work? Like, what if we get to the end of the 6 months and we're still having the same conversation?
But you've already made changes, so how could you say that?
The only change, I've discussed it with you. I don't think have I made any, significant change?
Yeah. One, eye contact. Mm-hmm. You have direct eye contact with females. You never had that. When I first met you, you looked down. And I saw you do that with Sammy, and you've done it with other women. You've told me. You have direct eye contact. your confidence level, it's a little bit today, a little weeble wobbly today, I use that, but it was boosting up. And you're going to have, everybody has ups and downs. I mean, everybody has days that are not as good as other days. That's very normal. It depends on your situation. But your eye contact and your verbal behaviors are a lot different than they were a month ago. So in 1 month, you've already had eye contact, you're better verbally looking at people, expressing yourself, talking to people, and your confidence level, even if it's a little lower today than it was last week, is still higher than it was a month ago when I met you. Even in your conversations, they're definitely.
Oh, on the mend. Look at that.
You have to realize it takes time. But you're doing it. You're working out every day. You're not going to be built in one day.
Oh, that working out is brutal.
But
that is brutal.
But it's going to take you a few months before you have physical changes.
Before anything.
No, it won't. No, it won't. You'll make it.
Oh, she's relentless.
That's her job.
But do you do all that stuff too? Do you do that kind of workout? Like,
yeah.
You can do that too?
I don't know if I could do Sammy's workout. She's a little tough.
That's what I'm, yeah.
But I do work out all the time, yes. And it takes a while before you really enjoy it. But
you actually enjoy it?
Yeah, I do now. It took a while. It becomes like a habit.
Why can't you be the personal trainer? We do this, and then we get it out and do our workout.
We might mix some of it while you're doing some cardio, make you talk about how you're feeling.
Yeah, it would be great.
You can release everything all at once. Get out all the anger, work
out. The whole segment, yeah.
Well, you want me to work out?
Yeah, you could do the workout.
Oh, no, wait, I have to suffer with you? Isn't it enough that I make you talk about things?
No, it is. Both you and Sammy exhaust me in different ways, but yours is a good exhaustion.
Well, you know,
I feel stronger when I'm done. Hers, I just feel like I'm in pain.
Well, you know what it is? The physical part, I think, is harder for you. It's easier for you to communicate almost than it is physically. So that's what I'm saying. Sammy brings you up to a level and you work out every day, but you're not bigger yet. It's going to take you months, but you're getting there. And this is what here. It's slow baby steps. You're doing eye contact. You weren't doing that a month ago. You'll actually express yourself and communicate with women. You wouldn't even do that a month ago. But you know what? You're going to have to take the steps to get there. It's work, and you're going to have to believe that you can do it, just like you have to believe you can work out every day and be strong.
So if I'm faced again with what I consider to be a gorgeous woman, not someone like you who I've actually had time to actually get to know and talk to, like if she's just there, like what can I do so that I'm not, that I'm smooth?
It's not really about being smooth.
Not smooth, so
it's about being comfortable.
So that I'm comfortable.
Well, it would depend on the girl. You would have to see, how am I feeling? When you walk down the stairs and you see a girl, you have to determine and trust your gut instinct. You know how you had a gut instinct? You walked down the stairs and you knew. You said in your gut or whatever word you used.
And I just wanted to step away for a minute to just collect myself.
Right, and you knew it was a game, your gut instinct. And you have to learn to trust yourself, and that's something you really haven't done. You doubt yourself. You need to trust yourself. If you feel something is not real or uncomfortable and you trust your gut instinct, then you have to handle it the way you believe. You can't doubt yourself. And you're doubting yourself. So if you walk down the stairs and you see another girl and you believe this is not real.
What if I believe it's real?
I think you know.
No, but I'm saying, but let's say I determine that it's real. Like it is a real person who has genuinely come here because they're interested in me. Like how do I get comfortable talking to them quickly?
The same way that you did with the rest of us. How did you do it with Sammy? How did you do it with me?
Well, it wasn't easy.
No, of course not.
But because you talked to me like a real person, though. Like you didn't just sit there and go, feel my heartbeat, Karen. You know, if you'd done that, I would have spazzed.
Well, you have to actually trust yourself to know that if a situation makes you feel uncomfortable, then treat it as such. You don't have to get involved in a game that you don't want to. You could give it the try and see, and if you see that it's getting to a point that you don't feel comfortable in, you could step away from it. You have that choice. You always have a choice, but you have to start making choices that feel good for you. This is your life. So you have to start taking control of your situations. You can't always worry about what it's doing to others. And I'm not saying that you don't care about other people, but you have to put yourself first sometimes. And you don't. And if you don't put yourself first, you're never going to feel good about you.
I did this in the interview too. I think I just tied this on a knot. I don't know why I do that. It's better now.
You just have to try and trust yourself a little. But you do have a lot of, you always say, I felt this way, I knew this was going to happen. And you still let all the control out. Are you realizing after doing this and getting everybody to control your life that, does it feel good?
Does this feel good so far?
Mm-hmm. Because you said it would feel great.
Some of it does and some of it doesn't. Like,
okay. Do you want some of your control back?
Yeah, that stuff with the clothing and the placing me in social situations where I'm highly uncomfortable doesn't feel great. The exercise thing, I don't know, I guess that's just exercise. It's a separate thing. The clothing, really, I don't like.
But the clothing doesn't make who you are anyway.
No, the other stuff is okay. I actually don't mind having them choose my food and my wake-up time. I'm actually really not even that bothered by the way they choose to wake me up. Even the water, I don't like it, but it's not like
right.
It's not as traumatic to me, perhaps, I guess maybe as it would be to someone else.
Well,
maybe it's because I like the rain. I mean, I've actually slept in the rain outside. It doesn't bother me all that much.
Yeah, you said you like when it's like dark out.
And gloomy, yeah.
Dark and gloomy.
They let me go out yesterday when it was dark and gloomy, but we had to come in. They didn't want it to rain on the cameras.
Well, it's because that's probably how you feel sometimes. Matches your personality of what you're feeling that day.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know, because I actually, I mean, there are some, like, reasons other than gloominess that I like that weather.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
is it creative? Help you write?
It helps me write, but it's also, like I said, the quality of the water enriches everything. It enriches the colors and the smells and the textures of everything.
Well,
I like
the artistic, the creative side of you. That's a good thing.
Oh, let's go get a cup of coffee. Let's forget this.
Are we drawing again?
No, let's go for a walk. Can we get out of here?
Yeah, I think you'd have to vote for that.
No.
I do want you to really think, and we'll end it now. I know I've kept you way over, but...
Oh, have you? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Because it becomes overwhelming, a lot of talking about yourself. But I really want you to think of why you allow everybody to take control and what it would feel like if you actually put yourself first and in control. And I think this whole situation...
would be very different, yeah.
They would. And think about what they would be. What your life could be like if you took over that... You don't have to answer it now.
Yeah.
You can think about it. There's probably a million things you could say.
And when we have these things, is it okay if I just jot, like, obviously not things to read, but can I jot down notes?
You could do whatever you want.
Or thoughts, or would you prefer I didn't?
You could do whatever you want. It's your session.
Because if I think about this, I'm going to come up with some thoughts, and
no, please. You can write them down.
Okay.
You can make it a poem and bring it in and read it to me. Some people express themselves better through their art, their music, depending on the situation, writing. So you can definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to jot some notes down.
But think of your life, visualize what your life would be like if you took full control. And this is a great experiment being in here for you, because by giving the control to everybody else makes you see what your likes are, your dislikes, what your needs, and see what you want back. What kind of control you want to get back for your life. I mean, this is only 3 weeks. It's not even 3 weeks, but in a few months, when you've been here for a while, you'll start seeing how important it is to take some control of your life.
I guess by taking it all away from me, I get to then figure out what elements I want back.
Yeah, and you'll see what's important to you. And by putting you in awkward situations, and I'm not even using the Kim on Friday night, it probably wasn't fun, and I'm not using that, but by putting you in any awkward situation, I mean, it could be, again, putting somebody on a plane who hates flying, by throwing you constantly into it.
I did that when we went to Vegas. Yeah.
Throwing you constantly into situations like that eventually will become very habitual for you. You'll get used to being around beautiful females, as you would say. You'll get accustomed to talking to females, no matter what they look like, because you've been in that situation numerous times. There you go. I don't know if you'll be talking like Elvis, but outside I don't know if that'll work. But you actually will feel more comfortable because it'll be such a habitual thing. When you leave, if a girl's next to you at the bookstore, you'll be like, hey, that was a great book, I read it. And it'll just come out because you're used to doing it.
Don't talk to her. No.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, sorry to overwhelm you today. So what's up for the rest of the day?
They don't tell me.
Ah, that's right.
I don't know. I'm going to go upstairs. I have to work on a bunch of stuff for Darren.
Oh, great.
That I haven't been doing more work for him. I believe if Darren was serious about what he said to me, he's probably cleared out the rest of the day so I can do the work for him.
Okay. Well, then.
And I'm sure I'll sneak off and get some emails now and
So
again.
while you're working, do you think a lot because it's like a creative outlet while you're doing any type of work?
Oh, absolutely.
So if you do have any thoughts about this and what your life could look like and visualizing and actually seeing it, because when you can see it or visualize it, then you can do it. If you can't visualize it, you can't be there. Right. So if you see anything, write it down. Bring it up Wednesday.